If, like me, you make a lot of chicken bone broth, it's often difficult to know what to do with all the leftover chicken, but today on Carlos Cooks, I'm going to show you a few ideas. Okay, welcome. Today I'm going to show you what to do with leftover chicken from your chicken bone broth. If, like me, you like to make this delicious broth, you know, it's very healthy, made with rotisserie chicken, celery, carrots, onions, bay leaves, salt and pepper, all good stuff. Usually put some chicken wings in mine as well, and do it in the pressure cooker around about 6 hours. And this is what you get at the end result, this delicious broth that's really healthy for you. I use distilled water as well when I'm making mine, and an organic chicken and organic vegetables. So there's nothing but goodness going in and nothing but goodness coming out. So I make a lot of this. I make it at least once a week because I get through quite a bit. I make sort of like 10-ounce cups like this, and at least try to have 2 a day. But there's an awful lot of chicken left over, and I must admit I have been naughty and I haven't been using that chicken. And the excuse I will give is that it's very bland. You know, all the goodness has come out of it and gone into the broth. And it's probably pure laziness on my part. I haven't done anything with it. And a lady left a comment on my chicken bone broth video on Carlos Cooks saying she couldn't believe that I said I threw away the chicken after I'd extracted the broth. And although I don't do that every time, I do it the majority of the time, and it is, you know, it's just not on really. You can put it to good use. As I say, it's very bland, so you've got to use it in recipes where you're going to really give it some flavour. So, you know, what I was thinking of doing at some point in the future is another video where I'm going to do it in a homemade korma, you know, made with coconut milk, spices, and I'm going to put into that some red pepper, trimmed French green beans and chickpeas. So that's a good idea because, you know, the curry flavours in there are going to give that chicken some flavour because it is just a bulking agent really now. I'll show you my latest batch I've got here in the fridge. And, you know, it's perfectly edible. There's nothing wrong with it. There is a lot of it. You know, each time I do it. So what I'm thinking of doing as well is freezing some of it, using some of the recipe and freezing the rest of it. So, apart from the korma, I thought I'd show you a couple of quick sort of lunchtime ideas today. We're just going to do a couple of quick things that you can do with the leftover chicken. Very simple, very quick, very easy. You know, ideal if you've got people coming round for lunch and you just want a snack to have. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a nice little brioche bun with some of the pulled chicken with a barbecue sauce and some coleslaw and some rocket and spinach in it. So that's very nice. And then we're going to do some sort of pan-fried tortillas stuffed with pesto chicken and sautéed onions and peppers. So let's get cracking. So first up, we need a bit of the chicken, and we're just going to warm it through gently in the pan. So let me just put this on stir fry mode. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the chicken. We don't need much. I'm only going to make the one. We're just going to shred it finely with a knife. Now, this has been chilling in the fridge, so it just needs warming through a little bit. But that's it. That's all we need to do with that. So I'm just going to get a little bit of oil, a little spray of that, so it doesn't stick, and we'll get that in there, so that can get going. Right, now we're just going to knock up a very quick barbecue sauce. You can use bottled barbecue sauce or your favourite barbecue sauce, but if you want to make it yourself, just need a bit of tomato sauce. And into that we're just going to put a little dash of white wine vinegar, just a little dash. And the same of Worcestershire sauce. Bit of seasoning. And then a couple of teaspoons of brown sugar. Now if you want to give it a little bit of a smoky taste, a little bit of Canadian maple syrup, just a little drop of that, just give it a bit of extra flavour. And then after that we're just going to put a little bit of paprika in, just about half a teaspoon. This won't need long at all. You can see though, it's very bland, very dry. All the goodness has been taken out of it, it's been strained into the broth, so it is just a bulking agent. And there's our barbecue sauce. Let's have a taste of that, see what it's like. Very nice. Got a nice little kick now with that paprika in it as well. And we're just getting a bit of a colour on that now. So we'll add the barbecue sauce to that. Get it all coated. That'll help thicken up that barbecue sauce and the chicken will take it on a little bit. So we'll get a bit of moisture into it. That's perfect. So here's a brioche bun that I've just sliced and toasted slightly. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a bed of creamy coleslaw on the base. Because the coleslaw and the greens and the barbecue chicken will really go well together. So we're just going to get a good dollop of that and give it a good coating on the base. And here I've just got some spinach leaves. I'm just going to roll those up and just shred them a little bit. I always shred my spinach a little bit like that rather than put the straight leaves in. I do it in when I'm making my spinach mash. Just blends into the mashed potato a lot nicer. This is done now. So I'll just turn that off for a second. Okay. And that's very simple, very easy, but it's going to be very delicious. And it's just making use of what I would have been throwing away. Just pile it up nice and high. And with the lid. It's a little bit messy, but pulled pork is. So there it is. Let's have a taste and see what it's like. That is beautiful. Why I have been throwing it away is nobody's idea. That is beautiful. The coleslaw and the homemade barbecue sauce and the warm chicken just go beautiful together. That's really nice. But let's not stop there. Let's do something else. Let's get some onion and some peppers sautéing in this pan. So I'm just going to cut some rings. And then we'll make sure we've got the skin off, just halve them a bit. I love onion and peppers, especially just stir fried a little like these. What we're going to do again is we're going to warm some chicken up, or we're going to warm some pesto chicken up this time. We'll mix it with the peppers and the onions, and then we're just going to put it inside our tortillas, fold them up, sort of very much like an enchilada, and then just dry fry them in this same pan. Now nice and thinly with the pepper, because we want it to cook quick. Now I've made these before, and I've done it with onions and peppers and a little bit of very thinly sliced steak, and topped with a little bit of mozzarella cheese before you wrap them up, and they are really nice. Right, let's get that going. Right, so in a bowl now, we're going to do a little bit more chicken. Let's find some nice breast pieces. There's quite a lot of breast meat because I put a whole chicken in, a whole rotisserie chicken into the bone broth, so there is plenty of meat. And it slices very nice. It's been in the fridge for about a day now, this. So it's been sat for a while, and it does slice through very easily. I mean, I would do it a little bit thicker than this if I was putting it in a curry, to be honest with you. Some bigger chunks of the chicken. That smells nice already, that does. So it smells like we're making chicken fajitas now. I've got my induction hob on the stir fry setting for this, which is ideal. So you can make your own pesto, but I wanted a quick video today, so I'm using some store-bought. And we're just going to drizzle a couple of dollops of this in here and we'll mix it in. Now this will work equally as well with the barbecue sauce. Fill it with that as well, do just as nice. Let's just break that pesto down a little bit, get it mixing into everything. Now you can put a little drop of olive oil in here if you wanted a bit of moisture, because obviously we've not got the sauces like we did have in the barbecue sauce, so this is a lot drier. So a little drizzle of olive oil wouldn't go amiss. I've just got a light olive oil here, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit in. Just a bit of liquid. And I've used green peppers, but use whatever you want if you want red or yellow peppers in. I know the green ones can be a little bit bitter sometimes, but I do like them, especially with onions. So, right, that is about done, because the onions have softened through and so have the peppers. So we'll take that off the heat now. And I'm just going to put that to one side because we're going to use another pan. And this is the pan we're just going to dry fry them in. So I'm just putting a little bit of spray oil. That's just a sunflower 1 cal oil. And then I've got a couple of corn tortillas. Now these don't take long to cook at all, so all we're going to do here is we're just going to put a little clump of it in the middle, like so. And then it's just a question of wrapping it up. Now to do this, you bring the sides in, like so, and just hold it down, and then with your thumbs bring the back over, sort of rolling it up like a sausage roll almost, like that. And that's it. Do another one. You don't want to overfill them because it makes them difficult to wrap, but that should be enough. So once again, just bring the sides in, just hold them down, just make a crease, and then it's just bring the back over with your thumb, just tighten it up and roll. So it looks very similar to a spring roll when you buy it from the chip shop, the Chinese shop or whatever. Right, so that's coming along. Now, as I say, they don't take very long, but you put them seal side down first, because what that'll do is make sure that it seals that, and you won't get the flap opening. So egg lifter I had somewhere, there we go. You can just pat them down a little bit like that, but make sure you move them around in the pan, and you will need to keep an eye on them. Don't leave them at all, because they do not take long to get a bit of colour on at all. you can see, nearly there. That just want a little bit more colour on that, and that is nearly there. And then we will turn this right down. Very quick to do. You can knock out a batch of these in no time once you've made the filling. And then you just want a nice dip. And I suppose with if you made the barbecue sauce version, a nice little dip would be just some sour cream on the side with some chives in or something, just to dip them in. But with the pesto one, maybe you could complement it with a tomato chutney of some sort, a thick sort of tomato chutney, salsa style sort of thing. That would go nice with it. It definitely needs something. Right, so you can see there, that's sealed those up. So we'll just do the other side, then a little bit of colour on the other sides. And you can keep these warm in the oven. You could have the oven preheated a little bit, 75, 100 degrees, something like that. And once you've got the colour on them, just put them in there. That'll just soften the whole thing up, the whole tortilla for you. But I can definitely recommend making the steak ones. If you can get hold of a good sort of gooey American cheese to grate inside that just melts over the steak, you know, sort of like a Philly steak sort of wrap then. So that was two very quick things to do with the leftover chicken from the chicken bone broth, and I will be doing that, especially after tasting that barbecue brioche roll, because that's delicious. That's going to be a lunchtime favourite of mine from now. So so I can apologise to Jan, who left a comment on the website on my chicken bone broth video, because yes, it's sacrilege throwing that away, and I should have been doing something better with it, and I'm going to from now on. And as I say, next video will probably be that chicken korma that we'll use it in, because I need to find some more recipes to use it up, because otherwise I'll have it building up in the freezer, because I do live alone and it's a lot to get through on your own. Right, that's doing okay, so we're just going to get a bit of colour on the edges. So if we just tilt them up in the pan like that, just a little, that's good, just a little bit on the other side now, and we're done. Let's open one of these up and have a look inside, and a little taste if they're not too hot. They certainly smell good. Knife's a little bit blunt though. They are still very hot. But you know, a couple of those on a plate. Little pot of homemade tomato salsa or some sour cream. Go lovely with those. Let's have a loving close-up of those. You can see the insides, and it smells lovely. You can smell the pesto. You can definitely smell the pesto. So let's have a little taste and see what they're like. Still, yeah, they're still quite moist. That olive oil hasn't disappeared. It's just very hot. Very hot, but very nice. They are lovely. Very nice indeed. That's my favourite though, the barbecue chicken one, but these are lovely as well. So, if you make your own chicken bone broth, or you just have some leftover chicken and don't know what to do with it, have a go at those two little snap ideas, and let us know how they come out for you. But we'll leave it there for today, and I'll have a think about what else I can do with it. So it'd be great if you left a thumbs up in the comments if you like the video, but I don't mind a thumbs down either. As long as you're watching, that's all that matters. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon if you want to know when that next video comes out with the chicken korma. But for now, we'll leave it there. So I'll see you next time.